Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, March 17th, 2023. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. This is Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with Damon the Agent, which is WA. But here I go. Today, I like to always start my show with talking about the latest real estate topics before we get into a later topic of my own. So today, I wanted to talk about, because a couple of days ago, we sprang forward and the days are longer now. So I wanted to go over a few things when it pertains to the spring housing market that I wanted some people to focus on so they can basically make sure that they maximize their potential and their buying power when it pertains to the spring market. So let's begin, as always. I want to focus on number one when it pertains to the spring market: location, location, location. Now, I stressed this many times before and previously on my podcast talking about location, but the reason why I want to focus on it so much is because a lot of times when people are talking about real estate and when they're talking about pricing and when they're talking about selling, a lot of times they're listening to the media, and the media is telling them one thing, but they need to understand that real estate is always location, location, location. So depending on what location that you're looking at determines a lot. It determines a lot as far as pricing. It determines a lot as far as if any programs are involved. It determines a lot as far as how quickly things are moving or how slowly things are moving. Location, location, location. So I like to really always stress this because of the fact is people get caught up in looking at the news, and the news says this and the news says that. But honestly, the news is talking generally. They're not talking locally. So I want to focus on locally, and I want people to also focus on locally because like I mentioned before, I'm in the DC, Maryland area, Virginia, DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. So because I'm in this tri-state area, every location is different as far as how quickly houses are moving, or in some areas, the houses are not moving as quickly. As far as the pricing on the houses, in some area, there are things that are affordable to some, but not to others. And I'm going to talk about that word affordability as well, too. But I always like to say focus on the location first, because if people just always say, oh, anywhere, then prices are going to vary, because anywhere could mean if you're looking in Baltimore, it's going to be much cheaper than if you're looking in DC. So again, focus on the location, location, location first when it pertains to the spring market. Now, I also want to say, because we are entering the spring market, because daylight savings time has just recently passed, that means the spring market has begun when it pertains to buying or selling real estate. So if you're thinking about when you should begin, let me tell you, you should begin now, right now. Don't wait until the summer. Don't wait until your kids get out of school. Don't wait, because see, by that time, you're going to be caught up in a rat race. And a rat race meaning that because the days are longer, hold on. Because the days are longer, that means there are more people out there viewing homes. So if you're looking to buy a house and you decide to wait and you want to get into your home before the next school year, beginning right now is the perfect time, because we're in March. It may take you a month or two to even find something that you really consider a home, because the inventory is kind of low right now. And it's not as low as it was at one point, but it's not as up as it was at one point either. So the house that you may desire, even if it's new construction, may take months for you to get. So we're living in a different time now than we were, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago. It's totally different. There's a high demand for houses, especially all the houses that look well. So if you're thinking about when you should begin selling, it's now, because we are entering the spring market. And because we're entering the spring market and the demands are high, there are going to be people out there looking to buy right now. So whether you're looking to sell or buy, the time is now for you to begin. The second thing I wanted to focus on was affordability. I mentioned that. Now, the word affordability can vary depending on who is buying. Just like when people go out to eat, some people go to McDonald's, some people go to a 5-star restaurant. When people go shopping, some people may buy one pair of shoes, some people may buy outfits, and a whole lot. Affordability varies with each individual. I think people need to really focus on two things when it pertains to affordability. They need to focus on the price of the house and also the interest rate. Now, here's the thing. The interest rate is not a major concern like everybody think it is, because to be honest with you, interest rate were much higher when I got into real estate nearly 18 years ago, and people were still buying it. Even when I was younger, I looked at the statistics for the past 50 years. People have always bought real estate, regardless of the interest rate. And the reason being is because you can lose out more money waiting on the interest rate to go down than you think you're actually saving by waiting for the interest rate to go down. And what people don't take into consideration is that the price of houses continuously go up. So while people are waiting for the interest rate to go down, the price of housing is going up. So if the interest rate eventually goes down, what ends up happening is they end up spending more on their mortgage just by, if they would have bought the house and then refinanced, they would have saved more. But that's another thing that has to do with mathematics. So people who understand mathematics or really want to learn or understand, that is something that you should really focus on. But you have to also focus on the price of the house, because the price of the house, along with the interest rate, is going to determine what your monthly mortgage payment is. And your monthly mortgage payment is the main thing that you really should be focused on. Whether a house costs $300,000 or $1 million, it's what you can afford to pay. And the reason why I say that is because, throughout my years of doing real estate, I've seen plenty of people who bought high-end properties and their mortgage payment was extremely low due to they had very good credit, they had a very low interest rate, and they put down substantial amount of money. So another thing you have to take into consideration when it pertains to affordability is that you can actually buy down the points on the interest rate. That is something that the local lender can also explain to you and break down as far as how the interest rates go and as far as the points go. So a lot of times while people are focusing on the interest rate, they're missing out on the house. And again, when it pertains to the price of the house, depending on what market we're in and depending on your agent, can always negotiate that price. So a lot of times when you're looking at the pricing of your monthly mortgage payment, that is really the most important thing. Because let's say hypothetically, I'm just using hypothetics right now. Let's say if your monthly mortgage payment was $1,500 and you had a house that was actually $800,000. That's great, right? So let's say your monthly mortgage payment is $2,000 and you had a house that was $400,000. It's a huge difference, correct? Well, reality is those numbers apply to someone out there because of mathematics and everything. You have to understand that each individual has their own DNA. We have our own individual DNA. And the same thing applies with your credit scores. You have your own credit score, which your credit score is different from the next person's credit score. But all these things make up as far as who you are. And the same thing goes as far as your financial history and your affordability. Your affordability is based off you. But here's the thing. One thing that I've realized with a lot of people can afford what they want to afford. People take trips, several trips a year. People go shopping. People buy the most expensive thing. People go out to eat all the time. But then some people will turn around and say that they can't afford certain things. People can afford what they want to afford. It's just based off your mindset and your lifestyle. Depends on the lifestyle you live. Depends on what your goals are. If you don't have any goal and you're just wandering, yeah, you can. But people have goals because you have goals on when you want to travel. You have goals on when you want to bend. You have goals on when when you want to go out to eat, when you want to go shopping. People have individual goals. So because people have these individual goals, they can afford whatever it is that they want to afford. But I like to say focus on affordability because, for example, I'm in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area again. And in DC, they focus on affordability. They use that word affordability a lot, meaning the government, DC government uses the word affordability. And affordability for some doesn't apply for all. And affordability it varies with each individual. Now, one of the things that DC has been trying to do is they have implemented a lot of programs, and that was one of the reasons why they went up as far as giving with the HPAC program. They give up to $202,000 now with the HPAC program in DC, and that is to help people offset some of the affordability. So, for example, if you bought a house for $500,000 in DC, and because they're giving you up to $202,000, that means your mortgage is only going to be based off $298,000. Because that $202,000 is a grant. So that's how DC is trying to help with the affordability. But there are also programs in Maryland as well too, and also in Virginia. And for those who don't know, on April the 8th, I'm having a lunch and learn home buyer seminar at my office. You have to register. I'm going to put the link in here, but I'm having a lunch and learn home buyer seminar in which people can come. We're going to educate people on the home buying process so people can understand the whole process as far as affordability. The lender that I'm going to have, he's going to go over various programs throughout DC, Maryland, and Virginia if there are any questions. But we're going to break down the steps from the beginning to the very end. We're going to break down the steps. So I just want you all to know that on April the 8th, I'm having a home buyer seminar from 1 to 3 p.m. It is a lunch and learn. And I'm also giving away a free $75 Visa gift card to some lucky person at the end. So I just want to reflect on that. But I want people to focus on the affordability aspect when it pertains to buying as well too. And then the third thing I want people to focus on is don't believe the hype. And what I mean by that is please, please, please always listen to your local realtor as far as what's going on. And I say that to say is the media can, give out false information sometimes because everything doesn't apply to everybody, and it does not always apply to where you specifically looking. Like if you're looking, let's say hypothetically in Bowie, Maryland, or if you're looking, let's say in Ashburn, Virginia, or if you're looking in, let's say, Petworth, DC, all of these different areas are going to vary as far as affordability, what the pricing is, how the houses are moving, everything. But when you listen to the news and everything, they're not going to tell you specifically. They're just going to tell you overall, genuinely. It's just an average. So I want people to really focus on the affordability, the location. Don't believe the hype. And I want people to understand that they need to educate themselves a little bit more, because the fact is, the more you educate yourself on the whole process, the more that you will understand that home ownership is within reach. It is within reach. It is something that people can obtain. It is something that is doable, despite what you may hear on the news. Okay. So I'm just saying, I want people to really focus on this because we are in the spring market. Houses are moving, buyers are moving, things are happening. So I want people to clearly understand the things that are happening in the upcoming market. So I wanted to touch on that real quick, and I'm going to be right back because I want to go over my next topic. All right, now I am back. So I just went over some of the things for the spring market. Now I want to go over a topic today called men's health. The reason why I want to go over the men's health today is because I'm a relatively youthful 51-year-old. I go to the gym several times a week. I try to go Monday through Friday. I'm in good shape. But on Monday of this week, I had like a scare, meaning I don't know what happened like with me per se. I took a shower. When I was in the shower, I was getting real cold. After I got real cold, I turned the heat up, had a steamy shower. Then the heat was all the way up. Then when I got out the shower, it was just real cold for some reason. And I started shaking for some reason. I don't know what happened and everything. And then after a while, I stopped. And then because I was like in my bed and stuff, I just relaxed, ended up taking a nap, woke up, I was real warm. Now I ended up going to the doctors yesterday, a couple of days afterwards, but it made me reflect on men's health. And speaking with a lot of guys in general, I just wanted to talk about the importance of men's health because the thing is, though, is as men, we tend to sometimes be neglectful as far as taking our annual physical, even when it pertains to working out, when it pertains to eating right, when it pertains to even some men, when it pertains to having, being sexual, a lot of men don't use protection. A lot of men are using fellatio on any and all women and stuff. And I just think people don't really understand that, as men, we should focus not only on our mental and mindset, but we should focus on our health more because we have children, we have grandchildren, we have people in our lives that depend on us. Your mothers, your sisters, your girlfriends, your wives, and everything. And if you don't focus on your health, you're not going to have longevity. And I also was looking at the statistics that says that women outlive men. And one of the reasons that women outlive men is because women tend to go to the doctors several times a year. I mean, I know it's routine for pap smear, mammograms, physical checkup, and all of these other things. But men are very neglectful. And with some men, they're in relationship. If it's not for their significant other, they wouldn't even go to the doctor. They wouldn't take their annual physicals and things of that nature. I have a buddy of mine who told me last year, and I'll never forget it. He said to me, if it wasn't for his wife, he'll be dead. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, well, she sets all his appointments. And if it wasn't for her setting all his appointments, he wouldn't have gone to the doctor. And I'm like, why wouldn't you have gone to the doctor? And he was like, that's just not my thing. I don't feel the need to go to the doctor, but because she scheduled the appointments for me and she kind of makes me go, I go. Which I feel like, again, it goes to a lot of men being irresponsible because, to be honest with you, that's my buddy. But there's no way that your significant other should make you go to the doctor or make you do anything pertaining to you. That's like a little kid. I feel like that's an immature mindset. And we get into it sometimes because I have my opinion as far as things are concerned, because those are my opinion when I call him immature and he's older than me. But at the same time, I just feel like we as individuals, we have the responsibilities and obligations to take care of ourselves. Even though it's nice if others will look out for us, it's not promise or guarantees that others should look out for us. So when he told me that, and he said that if it wasn't for his wife, he'll be dead, it made me think, like, how many men out there who don't have wives or girlfriends that don't go to the doctor? And for me, like I said, I'm very good as far as doing things. I go to the dentist, I go to the doctor, I work out, I try to eat right, even though a lot of you will see me on social media and y'all might say, oh, he always eating Chipotle and he, always eating out. But when I eat Chipotle, I try to get a salad. If y'all ever notice, it's a salad, and I try to always drink water. And even when I go out to eat, I always like to get a salad. I like to drink water no matter what I'm eating to make sure that I'm getting the proper nourishment and nutrition. But I just want to focus on men's health to say that men need to do a better job as far as taking care of themselves, because the man, like, to all the men, if something happened to you today or tomorrow, understand the impact that you're going to have on the people around you. And even though you may feel like you're not going to always have an impact on those around you, if you have kids, you're going to affect your kids, especially when if something was to happen to you premature, because some things are preventable and some things not. Like, for example, if you get your physical and you get if you're at a certain age and you get the prostate exam, some things are preventable. I think, I can't remember what famous person it was who passed away because they didn't get a prostate exam and it was far gone. And the only thing that I'm saying is, though, is if we took better care of our mental and physical, because when I'm talking about health, I'm also talking about the mental aspect, and let me reflect on that a little bit. Mentally, a lot of men are stressed out. A lot of men are overwhelmed. But a lot of times with men, it's not talked about much amongst men with each other, or even amongst men with their significant others, because men are supposed to always be strong. Men are supposed to always be the one that you can lean on and stuff. But there are a lot of men who go through a lot of things mentally and stuff. That's why sometimes men lose their minds and stuff and they go crazy, because so much is bottled up inside of them and they really don't have no outlet. You know, outlet sometimes can be them going to the bar and drinking. They feel like that's an outlet. Outlet can be them going to a strip club. Outlet can be them, you know what I'm saying, playing sports, things of that nature, or working out. That's why sometimes people be in the gym going so hard to get out all that frustration. But what I'm saying is, though, if we don't take care of our mental, we're lost also, because there are a lot of men going crazy out here doing all types of crazy behavior, domestic violence, violence in general, you know, just going off. And it's because a lot of times mentally people are not right. So the way that people can get help is there is a mental hotline in which, you know, I don't have it right now, but let me find it real quick. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, in the state of Maryland, let me put this down. And I just want to put this down for anyone who may need it. I put up there the Maryland Crisis Hotline. That's people for mental health issues. Sometimes we all need somebody to talk to, and we ain't got nobody to talk to, because trust and believe, everybody goes through something. You know, a lot of times women can call their girlfriends, they can call their mothers, they can call their sisters, but a lot of times men don't reach out to talk to anybody. They just deal with it. And then you wonder why some men are walking around angry all the time. You know, they got stuff going on. So I'm just saying that one thing that I found that's an outlet for me personally, first of all, working out is a good stress reliever for any man who is going through a lot. You know, second of all, talking to somebody, finding somebody. If I'll talk to anybody about anything, because I feel like I can talk about anything from A to Z. So if there's anyone who want to reach out and talk to me just about what's going on, it was a guy on my Facebook, and I can't remember, but me and him, we became friends, and he lost his son. So I know it was hard for him doing that. So I reached out to him and just told him, look, I lost my brother, so I know I can't say how it is to lose a child, but I know how it is to lose someone that you love that's real close and everything. So I'm just saying, sometimes you have to be the outlet for a person because they don't have an outlet. And a lot of men go through things mentally in which women wouldn't even believe what's going on. That's why for a lot of women, you don't understand, like when men say, oh, they don't want to hear women nagging and stuff like that. It's not that you're even nagging, because sometimes women are not even nagging. It's just the fact that so much is going on with that man mentally that he's dealing with, that he's thinking about, that anything that he hears, whether he hears something on the TV, whether he hears a baby crying, whether he hears a person talking, it's too much for him, because some men don't know how to communicate, for one. You know, there are a lot of men who don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express their feelings. They will shut down rather than hold a conversation. And shutting down does not do anything but bring the problem up later on. So I'm just saying that as men, we have to find a way to believe these ways. But like I said, working out is one way that I like to do. Number two is watching something comedy, something funny, something that's going to make you laugh. That is another thing that's going to help believe any whatever's going on, because comedy is medicine. And you all can go on YouTube, you all can go on anything to actually basically help your psychic and everything. Type in something that's going to make you laugh. You know, I know in this area in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, we have some upcoming comedy shows. And I was going to actually give away 2 comedy tickets at my April the 8th homebuyer seminar, but I decided not to. But maybe I should have, and maybe I still will. Just depends. But long story short, we have an upcoming comedy show on April 22nd. These are things that need to be done for men to help relieve the tension. Like I said, working out, comedy, you know, and be surprised, smooth jazz music helps me. I love smooth jazz. And one of the reasons I love smooth jazz is because I found myself in traffic, having road rage, having my smooth jazz on. And then when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, it ain't even that bad. Like, I'm gonna let y'all listen to the last song I was listening to. Alexa, repeat last song. I'll repeat. Listen, just listen. Listen to this a little bit, y'all. This is my song. Alexa, Turn the volume up. What y'all know about smooth jazz, y'all? See what I'm trying to share with y'all is there are many ways to help relieve stress and tension because we all go through stuff mentally. It's my little cousin. What's up, Troy? See, y'all hear that smooth jazz? And tell me y'all wouldn't be relaxed or chilling. Now, I'm not saying we don't all go through things because we got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody got stuff going on at home, bills, kids, the dog, your spouse. We all got stuff going on. But what I'm saying is, though, I'm just trying to make it easier for some people to understand that there are things to help make things better. Again, one, work out if you need to. For the guys, do some push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, listen to some comedy. Go to YouTube. Look at an old something made you laugh. Something is funny out there. Comedy helps. It is like medicine. Third, listen to smooth jazz. Smooth jazz is free on Pandora. It's free on YouTube. It's free on Apple Music. All you got to do is just say, play smooth jazz. It helps me all the time. I love listening to smooth jazz. It helps me out a lot. So I just pray for mentally. It helps to relieve a lot of stress and tension for a lot of men out there because a lot of men go through a lot of stuff. That's why we walk around with this anger. We see other people. We're frowning at them and stuff because we got so much in us. You know what I'm saying? It's no love. It's only mean mugs amongst a lot of us. So hopefully that will help some people as far as the mental health. And again, when it pertains to getting your checkups, men, you got to do it. You got to do it. You can't rely on your mother. You can't rely on your spouse. You can't rely on anyone. You got to remember, every year on your birthday, get a physical. That should be the most easy thing to do. Every year on your birthday, get a physical because you want to make sure that you are around for the people who need you, who love you, so that you can try to be on this earth as long as possible. We don't know how long we're going to be here, but at the same time, some things are preventable while some things are not. Try to be, you know what I'm saying, do preventative maintenance. That would save a lot of heartaches and headaches. But I hope that helped. So I'm going to go back with the recap of today. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. So the recap of today is we're entering the spring market. If you're looking to buy or sell, the time to begin is right now. Right now, not in 3 months, not at the end of the summer, but now, because it may take you months to get the job done as far as selling or buying. And then remember, focus on location, focus on affordability, and don't believe the hype. Believe your local realtor because, hey, we are the expert when it pertains to what's going on locally in your neighborhood. And I also want to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day again. For those of you who are going out drinking, please be safe tonight because I know the bars are going to have all these specials going on. Please be safe. And then also talked about men's health. Please, fellas, get an annual checkup. Look after yourself. You got to be around for your kids and grandkids. Statistics shows women outlive men. But women are always going to the doctors. Men are not. And then also, remember, when it pertains to your psyche and everything, there are ways to relieve that. Going to the gym, listening to smooth jazz, and also checking out comedy. Comedy helps a lot, y'all. So please find something that's going to make you laugh. And I hope that I helped you all today. Check me out each and every Friday at 12 noon. This is Real Estate, Real Live, Real Talk, and Real Live with Damon, the agent. I want you all to all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Boop.